Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to do Case 12 in the Sahara District. It's out today. Thanks to these three for helping me out. Nick, Paolo, Roberto, and Kuzno. Die by the sword. God, I hope Andrew is okay. Matthew, we're in Iraq. It's time to act. You must find Ambassador Stern's kidnapped son before it's too late. I still can't believe the sword would kidnap Andrew Stern. What I can't believe is that this assassin keeps getting away. Are we the Bureau or a bunch of trainee traffic cops? Deep breath, Ingrid. This is a crisis, but Matthew's right. We can solve it if we make a plan. First, remember what Matthew discovered. What Matthew's discovered in Dubai. The sword set up a trap for us. We don't know exactly what it is, but it must have started with Chief Ripley's murder. The sword knew Matthew'd follow the assassin's trail anywhere in the world, regardless of danger. So everything we've done in the Sahara is part of the sword's plot to lure us here, to war-torn Iraq. Exactly, but we had no choice. We did it for Ripley, remember? And now we're doing it for Andrew. And Matthew discovers something more. The sword isn't a lone assassin. There's a global criminal organization behind them, Sombra. We don't know much about Sombra, but if they made their entrance by killing our chief, it's safe to assume they won't stop there. So what's your plan, Matthew? If you attempt to rescue the kid, isn't it exactly what the sword expects you to do? Yes, but Matthew's right. We can't let Andrew die. We can't let Ripley's killer escape justice. Matthew, I've got news. Remember that Andrew's mother put a tracking device in Andrew's stuffed bear? I've captured the signal from the bear. It's coming from an abandoned museum. You've heard Elliot, Matthew. A new lead on Andrew's whereabouts. Let's search that museum straight away. Off you go then, and since Jack Archer still hasn't reported for duty, you're going with Matthew, Carmen. Search that museum and don't come back without results. I sure hope that it's not the kid that's killed. But are they really ballsy enough to kill a kid? Oh gosh, it is. Anir's bag. Oh, that must be the name of the victim. And there's Andrew's bear. I am also doing the first case in Pacific Bay in Elite mode too. Excuse me. Matthew, there's no sign of Andrew anywhere, but there's a beheaded man over there. Matthew, you think this man was involved in Andrew's kidnapping? Whoever he is, he can't be the sword. If he's dead. And what happened to Andrew? Where is he? Matthew, you're right. This dead man looks familiar. Haven't we met him before? You're right. His name was Anir. He was the nomadic tribesman who found that dead American in his camp. Oh, Anir Aznag. But how did a peaceful nomad get caught up in the sword's plans? Could it be the sword who killed him? I see you found the victim's bag. Let's search it. We need some answers about Anir's role in the kidnapping. And you found Andrew's stuffed bear too? Oh my, what a state it's in. Looks like whoever kidnapped Andrew ripped out the tracking device from the bear too. But you're right, Matthew. Collecting a sample from that stain on the bear should give us some forensic clues. Matthew, solving this murder is the only way to find Andrew and catch the sword. The clock is ticking. Let's get to work. We're going to autopsy the body, and I'm going to grab some stars just before we go on. Alright, I got a few things. Alright, I got 6 stars. Let's go to the nearest bag first. The die is cast. Anir. A note. Matthew, finding Anir's bag was brilliant. It told us quite a story about the victim. Last time we met Anir, he was a peaceful nomad, but now his bag's packed with ammunition. And this picture of Andrew hugging his bear is proof that Anir was involved in the kidnapping. Except Anir's now dead, so it's clear he was just a foot soldier in someone else's plan. You think that note you found in Anir's bag is a lead? You're right, the message is addressed to the victim. The die is cast, Anir. Matthew, let's send the message to Marina. She'll have to read between the lines to find Andrew. "9 hours. Andrew's bear now. Extra energy. Right on the foot is where the stain was. Aha! An unknown substance. Matthew, you collected a sample of the substance on Andrew's bear. With a bit of luck, the microscope will help us find DNA in the substance. Matthew, Andrew's life depends on it. There we go. Oh, one more. Oh no. There it is. Oh, that was so bad. Asal? Asal Hawa. Matthew, the DNA and the substance on Andrew's stuffed bear matched the profile of Asal Hawa. Hey, isn't Asal that Mossad agent posing as a belly dancer? Archer wouldn't shut up about her. But how did Asal's DNA get on Andrew's bear? Could Mossad be involved in the kidnapping? Well, I don't care if Miss Hawa's a fellow agent. If she harms a little kid, we'll set her straight, right, Matthew? Let's find Asal. Now there's a face right there that I don't... DNA on Andrew's bear. Now there's a face right there that might kind of give you a little bit of nightmares sometimes. Miss Hawa, Andrew Stern's missing and we know you're involved. Your DNA was all over his stuffed bear. It was my mission to follow the signal in that bear. Mossad suspected Somber was involved in kidnapping Andrew and they put me on the case. I followed the signal to Iraq until I found the bear next to a dead body, but the kid was already gone. Then you know that Anir's dead. What do you know about his role in the kidnapping? Mossad was never interested in Anir. My only task was to follow the signal, but it went dead in a destroyed town. I'll give you the coordinates, Sheriff Matthew. Alright, Miss Hawa, we'll check out the location. Sheriff Matthew will take over from here, but stay close, we might need you again. Okay, destroy town. Okay. Helicopter, riot shield. A stained rag. Sniper scope is the final clue. Matthew, this place looks like we've narrowly missed an artillery attack. How will we find the traces of Andrew and the killer in this mess? You believe that stained rag is a clue? Alright, let's make the most of it and collect a sample. You want to dust that sniper scope too? Alright, anything's worth trying if it might save Andrew's life. I'm gonna have to get some stars first, so hold on. Alright, I got a few stars. I'm up to 6, so let's examine the sniper. Oh boy. There it is. Oh, that was where. Matthew, that sniper scope you just salvaged from the debris was covered in notches. There's only one person I know who keeps a tally of his hits like that, Matthew. Matthew, this sniper scope belongs to Jonah Karam. We must find him. Hold on, guys, just a sec, just before we go on. Sorry, guys, my game is really screwing with me. And let's ask Jonah Karam about a sniper score. Seems like he keeps popping up. Thanks for retrieving my sniper scope, Sheriff Matthew. Now get ready to evacuate your team. I know a safe route out of here. We aren't going anywhere without Andrew Stern. He could still be alive, and he's a key witness in a murder. Most hostages die within 2 hours of being abducted. Forget the kid and save your people, Sheriff Matthew. I know you're diehard, but this is a war zone. Jonah, the kid's only 8 years old. Maybe Marina's right. All those years of violence have made you cold. I just hope you aren't a killer, too. I am, Carmen. I'm a professional killer. And if you don't want to be a professional bullet fodder, Sheriff Matthew, take my advice and get out. Okay, stained rag now. There it is. Matthew, you collected a sample from that stained rag. Let's send it to Lars. "3 hours. I'll let these three run their courses, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then." Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the victim's body. The autopsy. Matthew, I know a little boy's life is at stake, so I'll be quick. The victim's carotid arteries were slashed using a very sharp blade. He bled to death within minutes. Well, we saw the victim's severed head beside the body, so we figured it was cut off. But we need more than this to find Andrew and zoom in on the sword. We're desperate for a breakthrough, Angela. Well, here's something you could use, Matthew. To sever the victim's head with a single stroke, you need to exert a certain force which correlates with body mass.
I've made some rough calculations. Your killer must weigh at least 140 pounds to apply the minimum force needed to cause the victim's injury. Matthew, if my kids are missing, I'd want you on the case too. I hope you'll find Andrew and he can hug his mother soon. Matthew, I've analyzed the message you found in the victim's bag. The die is cast is a phrase of Latin origin. It means something's reached the point of no return. Well, Anir's dead, so that's one way to reach the point of no return. But if we don't want the same to happen to Andrew, we need to know who wrote the message, Marina. I've done some preliminary profiling based on the message. Someone cultured, smooth-mannered, but slightly arrogant, intelligent, but cultured but arrogant. Wait, it doesn't sound like a suspect we keep. Wait, doesn't it sound like a suspect we keep running into, Matthew? That scholar, Omar Bahir. If he wrote that message, we must find out what he meant by it. Well, Mr. Bahir better not have hurt a child. Matthew, let's find him. About his message to the victim. Mr. Bahir, Sheriff Matthews found this message among the belongings of a dead nomad, Anir Aznag. We think you wrote it. Anir's dead? He clearly didn't pay heed to my warning. The Nawa used to be a peaceful tribe, Sheriff Matthew, but Anir's gradually turned them into a group of armed terrorists. As tribal strategic advisor, I warned Anir about the dangers of radicalization, but he was led astray by a charismatic leader, the Sword. I'm sure you have heard. Yes, we know that. Anir was involved in kidnapping Ambassador Stern's 8-year-old son. Do you have any idea where he is? A child was kidnapped? That's unfortunate. But if he was kidnapped on the Sword's orders, as I suspect, he'll be kept alive, Sheriff Matthew, for as long as he's useful. The Sword will use the child to bait you, Sheriff Matthew. I salute you for rising to the challenge. It's a foolish but brave way to die. Green substance now. Matthew, I'll do anything to help you find Andrew's kidnapper. What a horrible thing to do to a little boy. And this substance you collected from the rag confirms that the kidnapper is none other than the Sword. We already know we're dealing with the Sword, Lars. We just don't know who it is. Unless you found new evidence, we're no closer to them. I might have something for you, Matthew. The substance contained traces of Andrew's DNA, and it also contained Papaver atlanticum extract. If you recall, Matthew, Papaver was the poison found in the dart that killed Chief Ripley. It's the Sword's signature poison. Heavens! If that substance is the same poison the Sword's used before, does that mean that Andrew's dead too? We know the Sword killed Anir after he'd done the dirty work with kidnapping Andrew. Why wouldn't they kill the kid too? Don't give up hope yet, Matthew. Papaver atlanticum is only a lethal poison in a higher dose. But it's tricky to calculate the right dosage that renders someone unconscious without killing them, which proves that the killer knows their chemistry, Matthew. Matthew, the same killer who killed our chief is after a little boy. We must find them before they finish the job. Matthew, the Sword keeps giving us the runaround, while we don't know if Andrew's dead or alive. Matthew, there you are. Archer still hasn't reported for duty, and this isn't the time for deviant behavior. What about finding Andrew Stern, Matthew? Any progress? All evidence suggests that Anir Aznag kidnapped the boy on the Sword's orders, and that the Sword killed Anir and escaped with the kid. Our time is running out to find the boy alive. Matthew, check this out. I found a heat signature on a satellite map. There's a hidden underground structure right below the destroyed town. A hidden underground place? Matthew, you're right. That could be the killer's lair. Well, we'll find Andrew Stern somehow. We'll get to chapter 2 next time. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. Playing Criminal Case on Facebook. Case 12, Die by the Sword. Let's start chapter 2. Matthew, the clock's ticking for Andrew. Even if he's still alive, who knows how much longer he can hold on. You're right, Matthew. We need a calm recap. We know that Anir kidnapped Andrew on the Sword's orders. Everything suggests that the Sword killed Anir after he delivered the boy. But we don't know what happened to Andrew. And where is he now? And where he's now. Matthew, check this out. I found a heat signature on a satellite map. There's a hidden underground structure right below the town's center. A hidden underground place? Matthew, what if it's the killer's lair? What if Andrew's being held there? We have to go there. Hey, wait. Didn't you say this whole thing was the Sword's trap? Because, you know, this place was, like, super easy to find, even for me. It's like someone wants you to go there, Matthew. Elliot, we know it's a trap, but Matthew's right. A child's life is at stake. Whatever lies in wait underground, we'll face it for Andrew. And as you can see, I do have some gold crowns for now. 4 out of 5. Let's see here. No. Ace isn't at 5 hints. Okay. Okay, now. I've already got this down. Stained map. Megaphone. Tripod. Oh, there he is. That's Andrew Stern. He's unharmed. How fortunate for us. I don't think Archer's behind this. I just don't. Up to 4th. Matthew, you did it! You found Andrew, and he's alive. I want my mommy. I want to go home. Oh, you poor thing. You're right, Matthew. Andrew needs psychological attention. We should send him to Marina's office. She can take a statement later. But what's that map he found? Ah, I see. Someone marked the route from the museum to the bunker. We should collect a sample of that stain. Matthew, Andrew's safe now, and we've located the kidnapper's lair, but what if it's all part of the Sword's plan? Didn't Elliot say it was almost too easy to find this bunker? Matthew, we've walked into the Sword's trap. The only way out now is to catch them. We'll analyze Andrew's testimony. And I'll go ahead and examine the stained map right now. Aha! Brown substance. Matthew, you collected a substance from the map showing the way from the crime scene to this bunker. Let's see if the microscope helps us identify who used this map. Andrew may be safe now, but we still have a lot to do.
Phantasm, a magic slope over the family. And whatever he puts in our stone shows up at ours. And this year, look at what he put in our driveway.
Santa can do that? Sure can.
Next is December to remember sales event is going on now with some of the most magical deals of the year. This is the pursuit of perfection. Breaking from the norm is never easy. Doing your own thing.
Okay.
Making your own way. Can be pretty.
Oh, good. 2.
Ricky Fowler is redefining what it means to be a golfer. Cricket loans and his the same for emergency.
There we are. That's 3. And there we are. English tea. Matthew, the substance you collected from the mount turned out to be English tea? Ah, wait, I remember finding English tea before, and it led us to Benjamin Scott. Not surprisingly, since he's from England. Matthew, I'm not liking this one bit. Just when you save one kid, there's another getting himself in trouble. We should talk to Benjamin. Him mixing with dangerous chemicals, dangerous criminals is the last thing we need. Personally, I'm glad that Andrew is found. Well, that was strange. Overrode the analysis. Benjamin, we have a lot in our hands, so I'll be blunt. What the heck are you doing here? I thought I discovered a secret bunker, Sheriff Matthew. I decided to check it out and write about it in my blog. Benjamin, a child was held hostage in that bunker. What if the kidnapper finds out you have their map? Fancy explaining yourself to them or to the Iraqi cops? I hear the prisons are very accommodating. Ah, I see. I should be grateful because the Bureau keeps telling me what to do, just like my parents, when they made me sit advanced chemistry exams. It's for your own good. Well, you're not my parents, and I know my rights, Sheriff Matthew. Go catch some real criminals and get off my back. Alright, I'll let Andrew's testimony run its course, and I'll get the results in the morning. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.
Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of Andrew's testimony from Marina. Matthew, I have to warn you, Andrew's traumatized. For hours he just rocked back and forth and cried. It took me a long time to make him feel safe again. Andrew's a bright kid and very observant. I'm sure he noticed a crucial detail about the killer. The question is, will he tell us? I'll bring Andrew in, Matthew. Remember not to pressure him or he won't talk. Andrew, this is Sheriff Matthew. Come say hello. I remember you, Sheriff Matthew. I was crying in the bunker and you came to save me. What else can you remember, Andrew? Can you describe the people who took you? There was a man with a turban. He was mean. He grabbed and pushed me and covered my eyes. I cried for Mommy, but nobody heard me. My hands were tied. I couldn't see. Andrew, you're being very brave. Can you remember anybody else? I heard the bad man argue with somebody. I didn't understand. It was Arabic. And then I heard the bad man scream and fall down. I was so scared I wanted to go home. Shh. It's alright, Andrew. You're safe now. They took my teddy bear away. Can I get my teddy bear back, Sheriff Matthew? Matthew, that's enough. Andrew has to calm down. I'll take him to Lars's lab. He seems to like it there. How did it go, Matthew? I see. Andrew was blindfolded when Anir was killed. Of course he couldn't describe the sword. But you say Andrew picked up a crucial detail? An argument in Arabic? Just before Anir died? You're right, that means the killer speaks Arabic. We already know that Omar Bahir, Jonah Karam, and Asal Hawa are all fluent in Arabic, which means any of them could be the sword. Matthew, now that Andrew's safe, it's time to focus on finding the sword. We'll catch them this time, whatever it takes. Looks like Karam skates again, but we'll see. Matthew, congratulations on rescuing Andrew. His mother's been notified. The boys' statement gave us a key evidence against the sword. They speak Arabic. Matthew's also discovered that Benjamin's in Iraq. I'm worried about him, but we don't have time to babysit teenagers now. Matthew, do you intend to continue the investigation now that Andrew's safe? We all know this is all the sword's trap. Are you going to walk into it? Matthew's right. We can't quit halfway through. We owe it to Ripley to catch the sword. I agree, Matthew. We should retrace the sword's steps through the destroyed town. There must be a clue somewhere that isn't a trap but a genuine lead. Let's go. As you can see, my rankings have dropped a bit. It's okay though. I'm not worried about it. The rankings don't really mean anything. Oh, backpack. That's a clue. There it is. You know, not my best score, but I try. Matthew, you found a sword. I agree, this can't be a coincidence. We know the sword's playing a game with us, and Angela said the victim was beheaded with a blade. Choosing the sword as the murder weapon could be a deliberate choice to taunt us. And there's some faded text on the blade. Quick, we need to know what it says. And you found a bag with Asal's name on it. You're right, Matthew. A quick search of Asal's bag won't hurt. If she's on our side, like she says, she won't mind. I'll get a few stars, I'll be back. Alright, I got all the stars. Even a second place ranking for now, but let's examine Asal's bag. Fake lipstick. Matthew, that lipstick you found in Asal's bag isn't lipstick at all. It has a USB plug with a tiny screen. Let's crack the password and see what it really is. It's 2 coins already. Oh, 67R. Okay. Matthew, you've cracked the password on Asal's fake lipstick. It looks like a recording device. Let's give it to Elliot. Six hours. Examine the sword. Perfect, but it's in Arabic. Matthew, you revealed Arabic text on the murder weapon. We already know the killer speaks Arabic. This could be a decisive detail. Let's get this message to DuPont. He'll translate it for us. Hours. Get it during my 10 o'clock news. 10 o'clock news show, I should say. And I'll see you guys for when these things run their courses. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the lipstick device. Matthew, come quick.
You must see this. It's bad. What happened, Elliot? You look pale, even for you. You'll turn pale when you see this, Matthew, as you discover Sal's lipstick as a recording device. I've had a look at the footage. And look what Sal did to Jack. Oh boy. Sal, we've lost the signal from Andrew's stuffed bear. I should report to Sheriff Matthew. They'll be wondering where I am, but I feel sick. I'm so sorry, Archer. Knowing you was the fun part of this mission, but I have no choice. We part ways here. Goodbye. Sal, what did you do to me? I think I'm dying. Oh shit.
The defendant is wanted on an interstate warrant.
Yes, the defendant is remanded to custody. Court is adjourned.
So that's why Jack hasn't turned up all this time. Sal did something to him. He might be dead. Matthew, I knew Jack and Sal were helping you just after Andrew was kidnapped, but I didn't know they were still together. Elliot, put the headquarters in emergency lockdown. Nobody comes and goes until Matthew's back. We're out to find Sal.
At the OK Corral. I hear ballistics might never sort it out. You'd be lucky to get an indictment.
What did Sal do to Jack Archer? What did you do to Archer, you two-faced floozy? Only what he asked me to do. I kissed him and slipped a tranquilizer pill into his mouth. Don't worry, Sheriff Matthew. I've had excellent training in toxicology. Archer won't die. He's probably chatting up the ICU nurses as we speak. You never said Archer was with you all this time, and then you poisoned him. Why would you do that if you aren't a double agent for the Sword? Me? A double agent? It was Archer who jeopardized my mission with this constant flirting. I never asked him to come with me. It was a hard decision to neutralize him, but it had to be done. Sheriff Matthew, I'm sorry, but you know you can't arrest a fellow agent. The Bureau has a treaty with Mossad. Just you wait, Miss Hawa. If Archer dies, you can forget the treaty. Sheriff Matthew will make sure you get what you deserve.
Repossessing a car. Property in this case. The district attorney is mulling the fact show. The fact is that the defendant is facing a hijacking charge in Georgia versus 3 homicide counts.
She is 140 pounds. So I'll see you guys for that. I'll let the Arabic writing runners course. I'll see you for that. Alright folks, we're back. I let the Arabic writing run its course, so let's see what Dupont has to say. Matthew, listen. Monsieur Dupont? You look tired. I hope you managed to translate the message on the sword Matthew found in the destroyed town. It's the message, the blade, poison, don't touch. Dupont? Are you alright? Must talk. Omar Bahir, Oh no. Dupont? Dupont! Matthew, call a doctor. What's happening, Matthew? Dupont needs an ambulance. He said something about poison and Omar Bahir, and then he collapsed. You think Dupont meant Bahir poisoned him, Matthew? Could Bahir be the Sword? We already know the killer's an expert chemist. Get the handcuffs and your gun, Matthew. We can't take any chances with Omar Bahir. Gee, I would really love for him to be the Sword.
West Kabailani Street. Witnesses reporting here gunshots and saw a car drive away. This is the victim. He was taken to the Hill Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. Officials have identified
About the poisoned sword? Don't move, Bahir. Sheriff Matthews arresting you on suspicion of attempted murder. What did you do to Armand Dupont? Monsieur Dupont? He often consults me on matters of language and history. I trust he's well. Dupont's in the hospital. He was poisoned by a sword's blade, and your name was the last thing he said. And you think I poisoned him? Chemistry's a hobby of mine. But why would I hurt a fellow historian, Sheriff? Why would I hurt a fellow historian? Sheriff Matthew, I think you've been horribly misled. What we think is that it was you who wrote the Arabic message on the blade and poisoned Dupont with it. I rather think he meant that I'd helped him with the translation. Could you lower your guns and show me the text, Sheriff Matthew?
Ah, I see. Sheriff Matthew, it makes sense. The sentence means every soul will taste death. It's a quote attributed to Sultan Mahmud. Sultan Mahmud? The dictator? I'm not surprised there's a quote about death attributed to him. But why would the Sultan murder Anir, kidnap Andrew, and poison DuPont? You think I'd have more reasons to do that, Sheriff Matthew? The Sultan's crazy, whereas I've always helped you, haven't I? Mr. Bahir, you'll remain in custody until we clear this up. Let's go and cross-check this story with the Sultan, Matthew. About the coil on the sword's blade. First I got 2 other energy. He's above 140. What brings you to disturb me this time, foreign infidels? Let's see. An ambassador's kidnapped child, a murdered nomad, and a poisoned bureau agent. Are these matters serious enough to deserve your attention? Watch your tone, woman. As if I'd ever soil my hands with the impure blood of nomads or Western children. Gross. I have revolutions to crush. I don't even sign dissenters' death warrants anymore. I let my clerks do it. I never have time for anything else. Sheriff Matthews found a sword at a crime scene with the inscription, "Every soul will taste death." Sound familiar? The phrase is from a poem I wrote in Arabic. Every schoolboy knows it, and that's a very pretty sword. Don't tempt me to behead you with it. This audience is over. You're dismissed. Go practice your curtsies for the next time, or better yet, go away forever. Matthew, you rescued Andrew Stern, but this case has gone from bad to worse. We've lost 2 agents. Archer was neutralized with a poisonous kiss from Asal Hawa, and DuPont was poisoned by the murder weapon. You're right, Matthew. We knew the sword had lured us here on purpose, and now the trap door is slammed shut on us. Oh no, the phone. I hope it's not more bad news. Matthew, help me. I'm locked up in the bunker, and Jonah's outside, with a gun. Oh, shit. We're going to have to sort this out in Chapter 3. Alright, folks, it's Matthew. We are back, starting Chapter 3 of Died by the Sword. Andrew's been found, thank goodness. But things are going berserk. Matthew, you rescued Andrew Stern, but this case has gone from bad to worse. We've lost 2 agents. Archer was neutralized with a poisonous kiss from Asal Hawa, and DuPont was poisoned by the murder weapon. You're right, Matthew. We knew the sword had lured us here on purpose, and now the trap door is slammed shut on us. Oh no, the phone. I hope it's not more bad news. Matthew, help me. I'm locked up in the bunker, and Jonah's outside, with a gun. What? Stay calm, Marina. We're on our way to the bunker. I hope this isn't another trap. Jonah, what are you doing here? Drop your gun and let us in. Alright, alright. Marina's fine, don't worry. I only meant to protect her. Sheriff Matthew will see about that. We'll question you as soon as we've made sure Marina's alright. Marina, are you alright? Thank goodness, Matthew. I thought I was going to die. What were you thinking, Marina? After what happened to Archer and DuPont, you shouldn't have left the headquarters. I wanted to see where Andrew was held captive, to help him remember more details, but I wasn't in any danger until that armed psychopath turned up. I told you not to trust Jonah Karam, Matthew. Remember, he already tried to shoot me once. Matthew will question Jonah now, and we'll sweep the bunker for clues again. It's after the sword now. We can't afford to miss anything. Why he locked Marina in the bunker? I'm gonna do that first. Jonah, the sword is out at the Bureau, and you were found terrorizing an unarmed agent with a gun. And you expect us to believe it was for her own safety? Sheriff Matthew, I didn't mean to distress Marina. I offered her a tranquilizer pill, but she turned it down. I told her I was a chemicals expert in the Army, but by then Marina was screaming down the phone to you. You offered to drug Marina after brandishing a gun at her? Jonah, you're my friend, and I've always stuck up for you. But if Sheriff Matthew discovers you were the sword all along, I won't be responsible for my actions. Aha! Already up to 7th. Okay. Matthew, you want to restore that torn paper? Alright, but hurry. We shouldn't get caught here without backup. You want to decode that video camera too? Let's get going then. I'll get some stars, I'll be right back. Alright, I got a few stars. Let's examine the video camera now. Oh no, RSET, RSET, NZAQ. Alright. Matthew, well done decoding that video camera. This could be our hottest clue. Let's get it to Elliot. How long? 9 hours. Now let's examine the torn paper. Anira's nog, and there's a faded part. A death warrant. Matthew, you restored a death warrant on Anir. We've been so focused on finding Andrew that I've almost forgotten Anir. What if we've overlooked something important about the victim? You're right, Matthew. This death warrant on the victim could be the key to the case. Let's reveal the rest of the text. By order of Sultan Mahmud I. Matthew, you revealed Sultan Mahmud's name on Anir's death warrant. You're right. What if the answer was right under our noses all along? The only thing the Sultan wants is absolute power. What if he's the sword? The Sultan thinks nothing can stand in his way, not even the Bureau. You're right, Matthew. It's time to confront His Highness with the evidence. About his death warrant on the victim. Your courtesy still leaves a lot to be desired, Sheriff Matthew. What do you want now? Sheriff Matthews found your death warrant for Anir. Why did you want him dead? I told you, Sheriff Matthew, I can't keep track of every death warrant I issue. There are too many, but I can add your name to the list if you insist. This isn't just about one murder. Whoever killed Anir has a lot more blood on their hands. I can kill as many people as I want. That's how we roll in my empire. And you can't arrest me without proof, because that's how you roll in the West. Haha. Killing people might mean nothing to you, Your Highness, But if Sheriff Matthew finds out you killed Anir, our chief, and kidnapped a little boy, you'll be wishing you'd never been born. I'll let the video recording run its course. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back, and we're now going to get the results of the video recording. Matthew, you keep bringing me depressing clues, but this video is a new low. I really hate this job sometimes. Elliot, we don't have time for your moods. Just show us the footage. Brothers and sisters, I've left my old life behind to follow the truth of the sword. A new world is coming, and the sword will be its leader. If you stand in our way, you shall die. Wouldn't you know it? Matthew, that was Benjamin Scott, but he's acting like an extremist, waving a gun. And what did he mean by following the truth of the sword? What kind of propaganda was Benjamin brainwashed with? Matthew, we've always thought Benjamin was a naive kid, but is there another side to him we haven't seen before? You're right, Matthew. Time to treat Benjamin like an adult and a suspect. Let's bring him in. About his extremist video. Benjamin, Sheriff Matthews found your extremist video. You confessed to following the sword, a dangerous terrorist. You've taken me for a dumb teenager all along, Sheriff Matthew. That video shows me for who I really am. Benjamin, the sword kidnapped a child, murdered a police chief, and killed countless other people. Is this the kind of person you want to be? Change always comes at a price, Sheriff Matthew. I have nothing more to say. Very well, Benjamin. Next time we meet, we'll treat you like a killer, if that's what you are. Sheriff Matthew, I called the hospital. They still don't know if Archer and DuPont will survive. It's clear that Anir's murder was just the beginning. The sword is coming for the Bureau. Ingrid Matthews right. Instead of panicking, we should review the evidence once more and see which one of our suspects could be the sword. Jonah Karam was our informant and my friend. I always trusted him, but maybe we should have listened to Marina's warnings. Sultan Mahmud is crazy for power and shows no moral restraint. If he's the sword, he's fueled by pure delusion and will stop at nothing. Benjamin, he's gone from naive backpacker to armed extremist. What if that's not the last surprise he has in store for us? Omar Bahir is very clever, and we suspect he poisoned Armand DuPont, but he denies it and we have no proof. Then there's Sal, who flirted with Archer only to poison him with a kiss. I agree, if the sword's a woman, she'd be as seductive and treacherous as Sal. One of these people killed our chief, Matthew, and has been playing with us ever since. Can we beat them at their own game? On their home ground? You think we should go back to the ruined museum? Alright, Matthew, it may look like the sword is winning, but the Bureau will not go down without a fight. Okay, let's see. Museum rubble. Painting. Walkie-talkie. Matthew, you think that pile of rubble could hide a clue? Alright, let's dig in. And yes, that dusty sheath looks similar to the sword you found in the destroyed town. They belong together. Be careful, Matthew. We know the sword was poisoned. Best use the cleaner to vacuum up that dust without touching the sheath with your hands. Matthew, this may be our chance to beat the sword. Let's get to work. I'll grab some stars. I'll be right back. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the museum rubble. Aha! A bloody stone. Matthew, there's blood on that sharp stone you found in the museum rubble. This could break the case. Let's give the stone to Lars. Okay, 9 hours. Dusty sword sheath. Dust. Matthew, you collected dust from the sheath. I hope you didn't touch the blade. We don't want you in the hospital too. Let's send the sample to Lars. Finally, the true face of the sword will emerge from under the dust, Matthew. And 15 hours. I'll let these two run their courses. For now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the sharp stone now. Matthew, Archer and DuPont are still in critical condition. The sword won't get away this time, right? Not if you tell us something useful about the bloody stone Matthew's found on the crime scene. Well, the good news is that the blood on the stone isn't the victim's. It was used as a weapon, but it was the killer who got injured. Are you saying Anir used the stone to fight the sword? Exactly, but I need more time to extract a full DNA profile from the blood on the stone and tell you something more about the kill. We don't have time for that, Lars. Is there anything you can give us now? Well, considering the amount of blood and the sharpness of the stone, the killer still has a visible scar on them. Can you work with that, Matthew? It will have to do. Matthew, let's turn the scar into the sword's downfall. And the dust. Matthew, collecting dust from the sheath of the murder weapon was a good call. That dust may have looked inconsequential, but it was more than just dirt from that crime scene. It contained tiny textile fibers. Lars, please tell us these fibers will somehow help us find the sword. They sure will, because I compared the fibers to the victim's clothing, and there was no match. So the red textile fiber must come from something the killer wears. So the killer wears red, a fitting color for someone with so much blood on their hands, but Matthew will put an end to the bloodshed now. Matthew, we finally have enough evidence to arrest the sword. Be very careful, we're walking into the wolf's den. See. It's Omar Bahir. Omar Bahir, Sheriff Matthews arresting you for the murder of Anir Aznag and for kidnapping Andrew Stern and killing Chief Ripley. Sheriff Matthew, you're making a terrible mistake. You've fallen into the sword's trap. You were the sword all along. You thought you could trap us, but Sheriff Matthew has all the evidence against you. Andrew heard you speak Arabic with Anir before you beheaded him. A traumatized child's testimony won't hold up in court, Sheriff Matthew. You carry the scar on your face where Anir scratched you with a stone, fighting for his life. Unless useless circumstantial evidence. How many people in a war-torn town will have a scar? Our pathologists prove your weight matches the killer's profile, and we know you're an expert chemist. That's enough, Sheriff Matthew. I've thrown you a few breadcrumbs because I've enjoyed playing with you, but the game ends here. Yes, I am the Sword. I had a mission in the Sahara, sowing the seeds of conflict and extremism everywhere. I knew the Bureau would soon get onto me, so I decided to trap you first. All I had to do was pull on your heartstrings by killing Ripley and abducting a child. I knew you'd come, Sheriff Matthew. Oh shit. Now that the Sahara is on the brink of war, it's time I finish the job with the Bureau too. Put that grenade down, Bahir. If you pull that pin, you'll die with us. How could you be so naive, Sheriff Matthew? I can't afford to die. Sombra still needs me. This is a poison bomb, and I've taken the antidote. Only you will die. Goodbye, Sheriff Matthew. You'll meet your Chief Ripley in... Oh gosh. What? Matthew, that shot came from outside. Take cover. Matthew, you alright? Bahir's dead. I can't believe someone shot him. But who was it? Were they trying to protect us or just keep Bahir from talking? All clear now, Sheriff Matthew. I got you covered. Jonah? It was you? How did you... I was on the roof across the street. I figured Sheriff Matthew had already worked out who the Sword was, and you were about to arrest them. And I thought you could use some firepower on your side. I expected the Sword to play dirty. Well, Jonah, I have to hand it to you. You are an excellent shot, and sometimes you even use your brain. You've done the hard work, Sheriff Matthew. The Sword never stood a chance against you. Well, we're alive and safe, but Matthew's right. We still have a lot of questions to answer. Matthew, you think we should start with checking on DuPont and Archer in the hospital? Let's go. Well, we know Omar Bahir is the Sword. Let's see the other ones. Asal Hawa doesn't have a scar. Jonah Karam doesn't wear red. Benjamin Scott doesn't speak Arabic, no red. And Sultan Mahmoud, I'd like to arrest this piece of crap, but I can't. Doesn't know chemistry, no scar. It was Omar Bahir. So I'll see you guys for Crossing the Desert 6. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back playing Criminal Case on Facebook. We just found out the Sword was actually Omar Bahir. So let's start Crossing the Desert 6. Matthew, we've heard you caught the Sword. And he's dead? You must fill us in on all the details. Jack, you're well. And where's DuPont? I'm better too, thanks to Matthew's quick thinking. Thank goodness. We were so worried about you. Please get us out of here, Matthew. I'm sick of sharing a room with DuPont. If I didn't have a Sal's visits to look forward to, I'd go crazy. What? A Sal poisoned you and now she comes to visit? What can I say? I like him hot and dangerous, Matthew. Oh my goodness sakes. Well, I'm glad that... Hello? Matthew, the celebration will have to wait. Please report to headquarters at once. You heard her, Matthew. Let's go back to headquarters. I wonder what this is about. Matthew, Omar Bahir's dead. The Sword is no longer a danger, but our work isn't done yet. We know that Bahir didn't just want to bring down the Bureau. He was stirring up conflict in the Sahara on behalf of a bigger power, Sombra. Bahir can't answer our questions now that he's dead. It's up to us to figure out who Sombra are, what they want, and why they killed Chief Ripley. But first we must make sure we don't leave any loose ends here in the Sahara. I want you to go check the bunker again, Matthew. And there's another matter, Matthew. Andrew's finally well enough to go home to his mother. Before he leaves, I wanted to give Andrew the pictures I took of him and Lars. They had a great time together. But I can't find the pictures. I think I lost them at the destroyed museum. I have to go back for them. It would mean so much to Andrew. It's still not safe out there, Angela, but I'll search the museum with Matthew. And I'll come to the bunker with you, Matthew. You'll need a tech expert to check for hidden communication devices. Yes, I will. So it looks like Jonah Karam's on our side. So let's investigate the Rex Museum. Ah! Angela's photos. Crescent moon. Shovel. Book. There it is. Matthew, that pile of photographs could be Angela's lost pictures. Let's have a look at them together at headquarters. Angela's photos now. Aha! Suspicious woman. Matthew, thank you for finding my pictures. Aren't they cute? Look, here's Lars teaching Andrew to mummify his stuffed bear. Don't take this the wrong way, Angela, but your talents lie in the medical field more than in photography. These pictures are out of focus and blurred. Like this woman here, we can't even see her face. I don't know why you picked it out of the pile, Matthew. Hold on, you're right, Matthew, that woman's face looks familiar. Nah, I think she just wandered into the frame by accident. Oh well, I guess I'm not that great with a camera. No, wait, I think Matthew's onto something. Let's run that woman's face in the database. My guess would have to be Ambassador Stern. But we'll see. I've got all the stars, so I can do this. Oh wait, no. That's Chief Ripley. Oh boy, that was terrible. Matthew, the woman you identified on Angela's picture is Chief Ripley. But that's impossible. The chief is dead. We saw her fall. She died in Spain. She can't be in the Sahara. Ripley was taken to the hospital and the doctor said she was dead, but the doctors only said that because I'd ordered them. What? Hello, Sheriff Matthew. It's really good to see you again. What the hell? Chief Ripley, you're alive. But how could this be possible? I need a moment to compose myself. And then Sheriff Matthew will have to talk to you. We have so many questions to ask. So look who came back. Chief Ripley, I can't believe you're alive. We saw you fall when that dart struck you. I apologize for misleading you, Sheriff Matthew. It was a hard decision, but it had to be done. I got tipped off that Somber was plotting an attempt on my life. We didn't have much time to come up with a plan. So to buy us some time, I decided to let the Sword believe that he succeeded in killing me. But how did you survive the poison in the dart? I'd taken the antidote with my champagne when we were celebrating your victory over the Prometheans. Alright, we get it. You faked your death to trap Bahir. But why did you lie to us, too? We mourned you. We were distraught. We risked our lives to avenge your murder, and you sat back and watched us walk into a trap? I made the decision I thought was best. The illusion had to be perfect. Sombra had to believe that they had killed me. And I knew you'd draw strength from the crisis, Sheriff Matthew. I was counting on you, and you did me proud. I just can't believe you did this. I understand, but it doesn't mean I'm alright with it. Sheriff Matthew, I know it's a lot to take in, but there's nothing like hard work to help you move on. Take this badge now as an acknowledgement of your bravery. Then get back to work. Yes, ma'am. Hidden bunker now. My inspiration on this. Still can't believe that Chief Ripley's alive. Aha, cell phone. Aha. What's up, Matthew? You found a phone? I hear you can crack passwords. Show me. Okay. Let's see what this baby's gonna unlock. Matthew, now that you've decoded this phone, I'll check it in the lab, just in case it's a bomb detonator or something. Okay, 6 hours. I'll get the results in the morning. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. I'm just going to speed this up. Matthew, this phone you found in the bunker is Benjamin's. Judging from his text, he's having second thoughts about the jihad. He wrote a text that reads, "I have nowhere to go anymore," but he didn't send it. Matthew, that kid needs a reality check. Even I can see his adventures have taken a wrong turn. Let me come with you, Matthew. Maybe Benjamin listened to me. Since I'm young and cool, maybe he'll come to his senses. I hope so. Convince him to go home to his parents. Hey mate, Sheriff Matthews found your message. Don't you think it's time to go home? Sheriff Matthew, what have I got to go home to? I'm not cut out to be a terrorist. I'm not cut out to be anything. Ah man, stop the pity party. You've got parents who love you. They're a bit clingy, so what? But what are they going to say when they hear what I've done? Hey, we all make mistakes. I once nearly blew up London from my laptop. But you don't have to tell them everything, just the cool bits. You traveled the Sahara, rode camels, met a tech genius, that sort of thing. I guess you're right, Sheriff Matthew. I guess I'll call them. Thanks, and good luck to you too. Here, have my last burger. Oh, thank you very much. Matthew, I've heard that Chief Ripley's alive. Is that true? The Chief was alive all this time and nobody told me? How did she... Yes, I'm alive and back at work. Sheriff Matthew, I want to talk to you. It's about Jonah Karam. I think we should hire him as a field expert. With all due respect, Chief, you can't just come back and start hiring people, Besides, Marina thinks we shouldn't trust Jonah. Why don't we leave it to Sheriff Matthew to talk to Jonah? Then we can make the final decision. And again, I'm pretty shocked to hear that Chief Ripley didn't actually die, but it was all a ruse. Again, you just never know. What he thinks of working for the Bureau. Am I in trouble for saving your lives, Sheriff Matthew? Quite the opposite, Jonah. The Chief's read Sheriff Matthew's reports, and she thinks you should join the Bureau. Me? In the Bureau? It's tempting, but I'm not sure I'm ready to give up my freedom. We didn't say the job was yours yet, Jonah. Certain members of the team still have doubts about you. I have an idea, Sheriff Matthew. Let's go back to the destroyed town together. I'll prove my worth to you there. Down to 11 stars. But yeah, I'm ranked 3rd. For now, anyway. Air vent cap. Piano. Refrigerator, riot shield. Parachute. Aha, there we are. Tiny parachute. Alright. Sheriff Matthew, I'm more used to shooting people than examining clues. Do you really think I'd be good at it? Alright, show me that thing in your hand. Looks like a tiny parachute with a USB key attached to it. Hey wait, I learned everything about parachutes in the Army. I can already tell you it was dropped off from a drone. And you're right, something was written on the parachute. I'm sure you can retrieve it, Sheriff Matthew. I sure can. Let's examine this tiny parachute. Cosmorus. Not sure what that is. Sheriff Matthew, I know that logo you revealed on the parachute. That dog in a space capsule is the logo of Cosmorus, the Russian space agency. But I have no idea why Cosmorus would drop a parachute with a USB key into Iraq. How do you work these things out, Sheriff Matthew? Ah, you say you have a tech expert? Alright, let's give him the parachute with the USB key. This is 6 hours as well. I'm going to let this thing run its course this time. So for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you then. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We're back. Let's get the results of the Cosmorus logo. From Elliot. Matthew, I've heard that Chief Ripley's alive. Way cool. Not everyone has a boss who came back from the dead. And this USB key on a parachute was pretty cool too. Here's the recording on it. Sheriff Matthew, my name is Natasha Romanova. I know you work with my daughter Marina, so I can trust you. I'm the head of Cosmorus, the Russian space agency, and I have reasons to believe that Cosmorus has been infiltrated by foreign spies. Sheriff Matthew, a security breach at Cosmorus could compromise the entire world's data infrastructure. I'm formally requesting the help of the Bureau. Matthew, that woman in the video is Marina's mom. Isn't that cool? I didn't even know Marina had a mom. And she's the head of the Russian Space Agency. I guess you better talk to Marina about this message. About the message. Matthew, what's going on? First I'm told Chief Ripley's alive, and now you got a message from my mom? I know it's a lot to take in, Marina, but we need to make a decision about your mother's message. I hate to say this, Matthew, but my mother can't be trusted. Whatever she's playing at, it's not good, believe me. Think about it, Matthew. Why would my mother send a message with a USB key on a parachute if she has nothing to hide? She could just call us. Marina, Sheriff Matthew's right. If Cosmos was infiltrated by spies, your mother was right to contact us in secret. And Natasha Romanova is the head of Cosmos. We can't ignore an official plea for help. I trust you'll make the right decision, Sheriff Matthew. Just be on your guard is all I'm saying. Sheriff Matthew, at least you know where we're going next. Take this cash and buy some Russian rubles. Sheriff Matthew, I'm officially taking back the reins of the Bureau, and I've made my first decision. I've offered Jonah Karam a job at the Bureau, and he's accepted. Jonah's joining us as field expert. I can't wait to work with you, Sheriff Matthew. Now the message from the Russian Space Agency. We should definitely investigate Natasha Romanova's claim about the security breach, Matthew. Cosmos controls much of the world's electronic infrastructure. If spies hijack their satellite systems, the world could be sent back to the Dark Ages at the push of a button. Matthew, we must investigate this security breach in Russia and find out if Sombra is responsible. Keep your wits about you and see you in Moscow, Sheriff Matthew. See. Oh, look at this. A camel, a giraffe, and a leopard. So looks like I'm going to the next case for free. As I unlock a new district. 6 cases, excuse me. Okay, well, they don't have it yet. Okay, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then.